Welcome to this episode of the Connecting Faith to Life podcast. I'm Trey Rhodes, the Connections Pastor at Northwood Baptist Church here in North Charleston, South Carolina. In just a few moments, our lead pastor, Dr. Tommy Metter, will be joining the conversation as well. In our crazy and chaotic world, our hope is that these few minutes will help you stop and reflect on your relationship with Jesus as you learn to connect Christ-centered faith to your everyday life. And welcome to episode 304, and we are moving right along. And are we going to do something? What did we say? We're going to do something with which episode? Do you remember what we said?
I have no idea. I don't even know
we
what you're
said
talking about.
when we get to 350, we're going to do something.
Yeah, we'll do something.
Anyway, as you listen, I was just talking to somebody today, as a matter of fact, and they were saying when we're on the road in the summer, we are constantly listening to Connecting Faith to Life.
That makes the drive a whole lot quicker, I am
so,
sure.
Yeah.
Or
and they
more
said,
miserable.
We got an 8-hour ride. They were in Montana. We had an 8-hour ride in Montana, and we just listen away.
You ever been to Montana?
I have not. Have you?
No.
I would like to. I'd like to go to the Badlands, experience that. Wouldn't it be cool?
I mean, I guess. I mean, the farthest west, well.
We've all been to California, though, right?
I have not been to California.
What?
Nope. I'll be going next month for a conference. It'll be my first time in California.
It's a beautiful place. It really is.
We'll find out going to San Diego.
San Diego is not Los Angeles. It is gorgeous. San Diego is gorgeous.
We'll
I've been there.
out. Here the weather is always perfect there.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll find out.
It is. It really
Probably
is.
rain the whole time there.
So, as you listen, let your friends know about it, and whether you do it through small group or any of your social media platforms, just let them know to listen to Connecting Faith to Life. And I think that's what they would type in if they were like on a podcast.
That's right.
Trying to find
Just
it.
type in Connecting Faith to Life. It'll pop right up.
It'll pop right up.
That's right.
And then always subscribe. Always
that helps
subscribe.
Us for sure.
It sure does. Well, Pastor, we have an interesting podcast ready for today. We have a special guest, and we like to have our special guest in every now and again.
And he's special.
He is special.
Welcome, Jonathan Edney.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Not Jonathan Watson.
That's
not
right.
Jonathan Watson. This is the other bald Jonathan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Well,
Jonathan wears
feel the
clear.
love.
By the way, if anybody wants to distinguish, Jonathan Edney wears clear glasses.
At least for now. I'm thinking about changing.
Oh,
and
don't
just
do that to
matching
me. I've been
Jonathan
telling everybody.
Watson
I've been telling you,
That's
look
right.
for the dude with clear glasses.
You ever worn contacts?
It's
You've
fun.
never done the contacts? Always been glasses?
I did. When I was playing sports growing up, I would do the contacts. But now that I'm old, I just go with the glasses. A lot easier.
Yeah.
But it also keeps me handsome like Jonathan Watson.
That's true. That's true. I started wearing contacts in the 6th grade. Never looked back.
I started wearing them when
I
I was 21, and then I got to be old, and you have to wear.
You do.
Far-sighted glasses
I
all
have
the time.
trifocal contacts. That
I
cost,
hate that.
They're so expensive. But anyway.
Yeah.
So the reason why we have Jonathan Edney on the podcast today is because we are going to, on September 7th, as a church, affirm Jonathan in a new role within our church. He's been serving with us for a couple years as a part-time missions guy, really helping us with ESL and some other things along the way. And now he is going to be our full-time missions pastor. So we're really excited about that. Logan served in that role for a long time. He did that in discipleship. And Jonathan's coming alongside of us to serve exclusively in that missions role to help us to be engaged, obviously locally and nationally with some of our partners that we've already established, and also internationally or globally. And we're looking forward to how Jonathan is going to help us to continue to strengthen some partnerships and to build some new partnerships, how he's going to be very active in training our people in good gospel sharing and living missional lives here and wherever God may lead us. He's going to motivate people and encourage people to give up significant portions of their lives to go and serve overseas if the Lord wills. And so we're looking forward to all the different ways that Jonathan is going to help us think strategically about being a church on mission both here and globally as well. And so Jonathan comes, and most of you know this, you're part of the Northwood family, you know this. He comes with unique experience because Jonathan and his wife Rebecca served with our International Mission Board for a decade or more?
We were right at a decade.
Right at a decade in Brazil.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
So we joined the International Mission Board, for those who don't know the letters.
Okay, so yeah, help us to understand the whole story. So you grew up in the Charleston area.
I did. I moved for those who grew up in this area, like I did. I grew up in Somerville. You say you came before Hugo or after Hugo? We were just after Hugo.
Just after. So your family's not originally from here.
I am not.
Y'all moved here after the hurricane.
Yeah, I was born in North Carolina, and we moved down when I was little.
Okay. But your childhood is pretty much Charleston.
Correct.
Yeah. And so you struggled through some things. You struggled through cancer and all that when you were a teenager, right? Was that right? I forget the story.
Well,
Teenager,
I
early
entered
20s?
into some problems with following the world and not the Lord
Yeah.
when I was a teenager, and then in recovery and coming back to Christ, coming back to my parents' house, discovered that at 21 that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. So battled a little bit of everything, battled sin, battled the world, and then battled cancer.
Wow.
But in that, the Lord was faithful and gracious. I realized that my salvation, my life, my everything is based in Christ, and I wanted to serve him. I said, whatever, open-handed, whatever the Lord calls me to do, let's do it. Also realized at that same time that I enjoyed languages. So I was like, man, there's a lot of need to speak Spanish.
And there's a lot of languages to learn.
Man, and the guy with the multiple languages in there, the guy with the golden tongue, he can make more money at whatever he does too. It's a lot of fun. So I started learning Spanish and trying to put all that together. Of mission and desire to serve the Lord and a desire to learn some other languages. Here comes a missionary from Peru talking about their mission, talking about IMB service, and I'm going through illness, going through all this kind of question about what does God want from me post-cancer. And I said, man, if I can do that, if I can go help them, I'm a college kid, I'm at 22 at this rate, can I go help them? Can I assist that mission? Can I do this? So the first time I got on a plane ever in my life was to go spend 3 months in Peru to serve alongside of that missionary, practice Spanish, and to serve the mission.
And you met Rebecca while you were in college, right?
Correct. She came down to Charleston Southern to go to school, and we ended up at the same church together. So
and y'all married when?
2006.
2006, a couple years before Stacy and I married. And so when you guys got married with that calling already identified in your lives and desiring together to be on the field?
Yeah, I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this for the rest of my life. You want to go with me? And she said, yes, that sounds like a good idea. And
has she been on the?
She really did think it was a good idea.
She did. She
Wow.
did. She said, let's go.
Amazing.
Now, has she been overseas before you guys met? Has she done any mission work, or was it brand new for her?
She had done a little bit of the short-term missions trips with church, with Charleston Southern. But that was it. Very, very minimal, not months long like what I had done, or years, or no journeyman service in her past.
So what was how did Brazil come about? How'd you guys get to Brazil? I mean, obviously to the IMB, but
the IMB tricked us. Actually,
well, that could happen, I guess.
That happens a lot.
It does. They get involved in your life, and that's a good thing. And so we had a love for Latin America, for Spanish-speaking South America, and we said, well, this is part of what we want to pursue in God's calling. So let's try this. Let's pursue this. And there was a job description with the IMB. So your field missionaries will actually write it up and say, hey, we have a need for another missionary family, and they'll list that for those who are interested in joining the IMB. And we saw this list, and we said, hey, here's a job in Bolivia. It's in Spanish-speaking South America. We love this idea. We love the job. This is right up our alley, so we'll apply for that specific thing and not just generic missionary service. And getting into the interview, the IMB said, actually, that's a job for Brazil. I said, no, I can read. That says Bolivia. And they said, well, it's a border jumping job. You'll have to live in Bolivia. It's hard to get a missionary visa to live in that part of Brazil. It's actually illegal to be a missionary in Brazil and work with indigenous peoples. And so you'll live in Bolivia, border jump into the tribes there in the jungles. So you'll have to have both languages, both cultures, that you'll have to live there and speak Spanish and then work in that mixed culture of mixed languages in Brazil. Okay, well, we're going to have to pray through that. That's a different ball game, but that was what the Lord used to really say, we're going to be dependent on him, even for language learning and not my old skills. We're going to go and see what he wants from us, and again, be open-handed. Does he want us to learn a different language? We're going to do it. And so that led us to that path of can we do both cultures, Brazil and Bolivia. Of course, then the Lord had different plans and got us a sweet visa without all that issue. And we only lived in Brazil and never made it to Bolivia.
Wow. Yep, that's normal. I've heard that story more than once.
So tell us, just kind of help people understand, like, the work you guys did in Brazil. Like, how was it focused? What did it look like for you guys during those 10 years you were there?
Right. Part of what we wanted to do, and part where we were able to do, was to work with volunteer teams, receive them well, and help them to engage, help the U.S. church to engage in evangelism and church planting amongst indigenous tribes. So there's over 220 different tribes that are still active in Brazil, still recognized as indigenous tribes. More than half of those are considered unreached and unengaged by the IMB, meaning that less than 2% of the population are Christians, mainly animists, believe in the spirit world. and that no one's actually trying to do that. That's the unengaged part, and no one's actually trying to change that. So they're on a path to an eternity separated from Christ.
Yeah.
And so we said, we're going to help do that, but I can't do that by myself. That's a lot of tribes. So we want to work with our IMB team and U.S. volunteers. So we wanted to do that. We do some research, find out where they are, what is that status for sure today, and then help the U.S. church connect to them and start a church planting process there on those tribes. So that was what we did for the better part of our career. We did try to get into the jungle for a little while and get out of the city a little bit and be directly tied to church planting. And then that looked at like finding out what the real and felt needs of the tribe were. Yeah. What are they dealing with? What issues have they got? And see how we can apply the gospel and see what the church can do to respond to that. Looked like a lot of recovery programs. We did celebrate recovery in a weird fashion in the indigenous world because you're dealing with the people, too, that are mostly illiterate. Right. So we'd have to do it in a storying fashion, tied to Bible storying, and tell those stories tied to recovery concepts. But all the while, the goal of planting a healthy church in a remote area in the jungles. A lot of fun. Good fishing.
So what's the work there now? I mean, because you guys have been off the field there for a few years. You guys came back in 2020 or 20? I forget.
We came back in February 2020, about 3 weeks before the world shut down.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was that time frame. And so I'm sure you keep up to date with things that are taking place in Brazil. I know you guys have a heart for that place. So what's going on there now? Do you know?
We do know a little bit, and I would love to get back. Maybe we can set up a partnership and get Northwood back down to do some
fishing,
do some of that work.
Catch some piranha.
There are some need to do that. We because of the legal issue, and the Brazilian government and Indian affairs keep missionaries off the tribes. They think that we're going to ruin their culture. And my response was always, I want to better the culture. Right. We can be indigenous, but we want to be Christian and indigenous. So we don't want to completely erase all the bad. Well, we do want to replace the bad parts with Christ, but we can keep the good parts of where we've come from and be better Christians, be better indigenous. As we said, we want to better the culture, maintain the good parts, and throw out the bad, and help them to follow Christ above all. So in that, the Indian affairs and government actually make it illegal to be a missionary and go into those tribal lands, and so we have different strategies of how to get there, whether we get a different visa or we start ecotourism business, and that way that's our reason for being there. So those types of things still do go on in Brazil. So we know our IMB guys are running ecotourism businesses as their main platform. We have a need to support their business.
You're saying tourism, right?
Correct.
Okay, it sounded like terrorism.
No, they went on terrorism.
Ecotourism.
Okay, gotcha.
So we have to go fishing, Pops.
I got you, man. I hear you.
Go up
I just wanted to be clear. That's all.
Hiking and fishing in the jungle as a part of ecotourism, but you're going on to tribal lands and helping the missionaries to have a true platform.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, so you guys transitioned back here in 2020, and you immediately began the process of planting a church in Charleston, which actually meets on our campus. And so that's been actually a great journey. The church has become more and more stable and reaching more people. Y'all have baptized, how many people? It's been a bunch.
28.
28 for a Portuguese-speaking church in the Charleston area is remarkable.
Yes, it is.
So I've been very fruitful, and we're very thankful that, the church is on our campus and what God is doing there. So just in being here with us, playing the church on our campus, and then just relationship and coming to be with us part-time, we just felt like it was just natural that you would serve with us on a full-time basis. Now you're going to continue to pastor the Portuguese-speaking church. What's that going to look like with your new full-time gig?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I'm glad with you for, again, I said it when we were talking in church Sunday night, that I'm thankful for the partnership and the friendship. Yeah. I'm thankful, too, that it's not just a question of what makes most sense, but we really have tried to bat around these ideas. What is that going to look like? What is the time constraints? Let's pray through these decisions. So it's been a spiritual decision that said, hey, let's move forward on some of these ideas as well. For that, yes, the Brazil church serves a very specific need that the population of Brazilians is still up. We say that there's over 9,000 Brazilians in Goose Creek alone. And we're the only Baptist church in town. So it serves a very specific need. And
now, there are other Portuguese-speaking churches in the area.
Got Assemblies of God.
Right, but we're the only Baptist.
We're the only Baptist, only conservative. So we don't have any of our more conservative, say, Presbyterians. The Catholic Church does have some services, but not every week, and not every work in Portuguese, and so there's those differences there theologically as well. So we're the only conservative evangelical Baptist church in the area, and so that serves a specific need. And I had a friend tell me before, he said, if you're considering these ideas of full time with a church such as Northwood and trying to maintain Brazil Church, it seems like you're trying to guide two horses from one saddle, and that doesn't really work. And that thought stuck with me and made me pray through those things. And really, I came back. I said, I've seen cowboys on TV do that. They've guided.
Well, that is TV, though.
I know.
There's lots of things that happen on TV, like Superman flies on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well. So we certainly, and that's right. We can do the magic of TV. But we can also consider like those guys, those real cowboys, real folks that drive the cattle and ride horses know that, you can only sit in one saddle at a time, but I can guide two horses if I have the reins in one hand. And so if we have two sets of reins and we're guiding two horses closely aligned, that you can guide more than one horse at a time. So that's what it is. That's the plan, is that the saddle's going to sit full time at Northwood, but that we can guide two horses when we're closely aligned, bringing things in line with the Brazil Church to be part of the Northwood family of churches, make that more in line, that those things can go together. Also, the ministries, we're acting like a missionary, thinking like a missionary as we try to start a church here. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to think like a missionary. And so some of those activities that we did initially with starting an ESL program or starting a donation day, bring them into alignment and do them together. That might mean that I'm feeling the horse pull one way or the other a little bit, but those things can still ride side by side. We're also seeing where having the Brazil Church not only does it meet a specific need, but it can also be a training ground. So one of our hopes with the Northwood vision of us moving forward is to be known and to do this, to be a sending church, to really build our partnership with Charleston Southern and other colleges here to help Journeyman, which Journeyman's an IMB program to serve 2 years on the field as a single person. How can we help our missionaries? How can we help our journeymen to go well, to send out from here, so we can build a program where folks can get trained up, get more ready to be a cross-cultural witness for Christ without ever leaving home. You can do that here. You can come get an experience of just sitting in a church where you don't understand everything that's going on without having to leave Charleston. So we can use the partnership and alignment with Brazil Church to give that experience, to have folks serve for a time in the children's ministry and get used to working in a different culture of how these students learn. How do the parents communicate? How do the language differences affect the way I'm going to do church? If we can deal with some of those issues ahead of time before you ever get to the field, you'll be more prepared when you get there. And so we're going to ride one saddle, two horses, let those things be closely aligned and help one another, to train missionaries, to be a part of the family, to actually continue ministries together that promote Brazil Church, but also will serve our community in English, and have our congregations be able to serve together.
Good. So you think about just Northwood and the desire to continue to be a sending church and to strengthen that through our international partnerships, to help students to have that journeyman experience, to help couples in our church to discern the call of God in their lives and maybe step out from Northwood and go serve overseas as vocational missionaries. What excites you about, or I hope something excites you, what excites you about serving full-time at Northwood? When you think about Northwood and the uniqueness of our church and the opportunity you have to come in and work alongside us in a full-time capacity, like what excites you?
One thing that is really wonderful, is exciting, is a wonderful bonus, is that the church is already healthy in many ways. That Logan and that you and the team have done a lot of work in prepping the ground so that ministry and missions aren't a foreign idea. It's not a new idea. This is very natural. This is very normal. This is a natural response to obedience-based discipleship programs that we're going to be involved in missions. And so not having to start over to be in a healthy church is going, hey, let's just press forward. It's exciting. Two, the partnership that we do have with Charleston Southern, we have already had conversations with administration and with folks in the Christian Studies department at Charleston Southern who've said, hey, we have been praying for a church to approach us with this idea. In Charleston Southern hasn't been sending as much as they would like to. So for a church to say we want to partner together with y'all in a major and a bigger way, they're ready for that. And so we're going to be able to build a good, bigger partnership with Charleston Southern for the sake of sending journeymen. That's exciting. Yeah. I mean, the amount of students that we have around Northwood campus and around Charleston Southern who have a heart for the Lord, who want to grow in their relationship with the Lord, and they want to serve as a natural next step. Let's get to work.
So when you think about some of the existing things that we do, Boston, Utah, Japan, what do you see staying the same? And what do you see maybe being enhanced upon? What do you see being different in the way that we approach our missional strategy and partnerships? And what do you see?
One thing we really want to do is make sure that the whole congregation is aware of who our partners are, why, and how we can better pray for them. So maybe some have noticed that we've already started adjusting the missions wall that's in between the main entrance to the sanctuary and the children's wing. So we've added some just almost advertisements. There's the map there. We're going to have pictures of our partners that we're going to pray for. We have the TV that gives some of our announcements of what our missions projects are, just to make sure that our folks are aware we do still care about Ivy and his family and what's going on in Boston. And here's how we can partner with them. Here's how we can pray for them. So one is just awareness and education, making sure that those needs are in front of us on a regular basis. Prayer is the undergirding that we need for all of our ministries. And so we want to make sure that we're doing that and doing that well for our partners. We want to build in that a missions committee that is their job. That's the primary job, is to pray and pray specifically for our partners, and would be to pray monthly with our partners. So it would be contact those partners, whether they're local, national, or global, to partner with them in prayer, to say, hey, we're going to reach out by email, maybe a phone call at least once a month, and say, I am praying for you. We need to do that. We need to do that well to make sure that we're holding the line for the missionaries that we're partnered with or send out. Also in the realm of education and awareness to not only just our partners, but what are upcoming trips that we are still doing or hope to do in the future. We're going to begin in November 7th, that weekend. We're going to have a big missions conference, a big global missions conference, where we meet some of our partners. We meet some of our IMB missionaries. We're going to have a IMB recruiter. This is one of the guys who recruits journeymen on different college campuses. He's going to be here to talk through the process of how to join the IMB, so that becomes very normal part of our church life, normal part of going, so that we're seeing that and we're inspired, we're educated, and we're seeing our missionaries right in front of us. Will be a great opportunity, a great weekend to get to hear those stories, to be inspired, and to pray through, what am I going to do? What's my part in giving to Lottie Moon? What is my part in going as a journeyman? What is my part? Maybe I need to consider a mission trip next year. That'll all start November 7th.
Good stuff. So tell us a bit about Rebecca, your kids. Like, how are they fitting at Northwood? What do you foresee as far as with your family, how your family is going to engage in the life of Northwood and some of the transition? Now, they've been here, but like, what's going on in your family as we're making this transition?
Right. My oldest is 16 now. We're getting old, man.
Yeah, you're older than me.
No, I'm not. My kids are older. So it's been fun, though, that they have all in different ways wrestled with that missionary kid life. Yeah. So I know you're with me too, of the PKs, the MKs, the pastor kids, the missionary kids. We wonder, we worry, we pray for them in a different way. But I'm praising the Lord constantly that they think of that life is normal. Yeah. The missionary kid life is normal. The cross-cultural life is normal. As difficult as it is to navigate two different languages and go, am I really a member at Northwood, or am I a member at Comunidade Batista?
Which I can't say.
I know. We're going to teach you Portuguese or Spanish or something. Japanese.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Use that Chat GPT. Tell it to create a lesson plan for you.
I wish it's not.
Google Translate.
Yeah. My pronunciations are awful.
But they'll pronounce it.
Like, I can learn the language. I can learn the vocabulary and all that kind of stuff. Like, I took Latin forever in high school and in college. I had to have it for PhD work. And I enjoyed learning the language. I just couldn't say anything. Like, my ability to pronunciate is terrible.
Chat GPT will test your pronunciation.
And I'll make an F. a zero.
It will make you repeat it until you get it right.
Then I'll be repeating things all day long.
Then do it.
Do
Let's do it. You know, what do we say? The perfect way to not hit the goal is to not make one.
That's exactly. Thank you, Jonathan. I've been convicted. I'm going to go work on my
screwed
ChatGPT right now. I don't know if you do or not, but I'm about to go work on my ChatGPT.
Do it.
All right.
Conviction.
Get back to it, guys. We got about 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Trey's keeping us on track.
There you go.
The family's feeling good.
Family's feeling good. Family's enjoying getting involved with the student ministry here. So we have 2 in the student ministry with Cody, and things are going well there. Cody and I have even discussed, like, how do we encourage some of our Brazilian youth to get in disciple groups on Sunday night.
Yeah.
We traditionally meet on Sunday evenings for Portuguese service. And so how can we even blend those types of things? And our kids are involved in both of those. Or all of those. So we've enjoyed getting involved in being in church and being around this campus on quite a number of bases. So
that's good, man.
Family's doing well. Family's enjoying the adjustment and have prayed through some of these decisions of this is home, and we're doubling down, and let's get involved in missions. And the kids are begging. You know, this is the fun with the cross-cultural life is the kids are begging to go on a mission trip.
That's good.
When are we going back to Brazil? Hey, can I go on that trip to Japan? They're asking those questions too, and so that's exciting, and I want that to be a regular part of all of our lives here at this church, of kids being involved in different ways in mission trips and going, I can do this too.
That's good. That's good. Well, we are looking forward to having you on the team. And so if you're listening and you're a part of our faith family and you're interested in the opportunities coming up, or you just really feel that tug of the Spirit towards international missions, you can go ahead and start talking to Jonathan. He'd love to have conversations with you about what it looks like to plug into God's plan to reach the world. And I know, for us, we've done a lot of trips in the past. We've built some partnerships. We were doing really, really well until COVID hit and shut the world down. And it feels like the last few years have been a reset for us. I've been reestablishing partnerships and trying to figure out direction. And so I think that, having Jonathan come and with his expertise is going to be a blessing to us, and continue to pray for him, continue to pray for Logan and his new role as the pastor of Northwood East Bay. Just lots of good things going on in the family of churches that we're really excited for. So, we're glad you're here.
Well, brother,
it's going to be good.
As we begin this new, it really is new for us because we've never had a full-time missions pastor.
Right, because Logan had a dual role.
Right.
Logan was missions and discipleship. And so we're still praying about how to handle that, and we'll be bringing on someone in the near future to more specifically work with discipleship. But Edney was the guy who was here, not because he was here, but he was here. And it was obvious that God had placed him here for this. And so we're thankful for that. And so we will bring on someone who will, and that's going to be good. It's going to be really good to have 2 guys here that their time isn't divided between different jobs, if you will. I mean, missions and discipleship obviously go hand in hand together.
Right.
But to have one that's really focusing on helping us to be engaged in the world, and another that's really focused on helping us to execute that discipleship strategy that we're so passionate about is going to be really, really helpful. So I'm very, very happy about the direction our church is taking, and just lots of good things going on.
So how do we pray for you, brother? Seriously, I mean, as you make this transition, how can we as a church pray for you? You say to pray for us, but how do we do that?
Right. And I think a positive thing when we think about praying for our missions partners is praying for those who are connected to them.
But how do we pray for you?
Praying for us, praying for your staff, praying for the Northwood staff on that. So, we say pray for Ivy's dad. Right.
Okay, that's right. Ivy's dad.
That's right. And we're going to pray for you. We're going to pray for our staff. And then the extension is our partners as well. So, we do appreciate the Edney's prayer, praying for the Edneys. Praying for me is I do figure out some of this time
management.
How my time is going to be divided between some of these roles, and making sure that I'm here as much as Tommy wants me in the office.
We don't want you in the office, man. We want you in missions.
There's going to be the tug, right?
You do have
How
to
does
do
the
that,
missions
though,
pastor feel like a missionary and a pastor on the campus? That alone is a challenge. And so figuring that out, when we are starting back a lot of things here with Wednesday night activities, ESL getting started up, getting some of these missions trips rolling out, and getting the missions conference. September looks crazy. So
welcome to Northwood.
I know, it's great.
Every
it's
month looks
and
crazy.
Busy, and so just looking at the schedule already planned out for September looks a little wild and good.
Okay.
So praying through time management as we make this transition will be helpful.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for coming to be a part. Thank you for coming to be a part of our church, as well as working with our podcast here to just kind of get the people informed and help them know how best to pray for you and how to encourage you and build you up. And we're glad to have you on the team.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Pastor, as we get ready for next week, why don't you get us filled in and moving ahead.
For sure. Yeah, it has been great to have you, Jonathan. Looking forward to having you a part of the team. And if you have enjoyed today's episode, we do hope that you'll hit that subscribe button so you can have new content delivered to you guys every single week. Leave us a 5-star review. That helps us to get word out about the podcast. And as always, we hope today's episode has helped you connect faith to life.